Okay, so today I will be showcasing the Conch Street Infinite Jump. This is about 45 seconds. It's basically where you can jump in like a corner and gain infinite amounts of height. And this doesn't work in all corners, but this was found pretty recently. And like in most cases, it doesn't really save any time because even if you jump into corners, you can't really like scale walls or anything. And we haven't really found like optimal ways to use this, but we have like we found one like place where it really works. You just jump in the corner of a wall, and this only works on a few walls once again. But like there are some where you can get like really high, jump really high, and I will be showcasing that because on this very specific one in Conch Street, it actually saves like 40 to 45 seconds if you use it, like around 40 seconds, and it saves a lot of time. You just scale the wall. But the catch is you'll need to do it with SpongeBob because it does work with Squidward. It works with all characters, but it doesn't really work well with anyone besides SpongeBob. Like SpongeBob's the most optimal character if you don't want to lose too much time. Though it can be done with Squidward, I really would not recommend trying this with Squidward. This is not very hard to do, even if you're new. It doesn't take that much practice, but I do recommend doing a little bit of practice just to get used to it first. So in an optimal run, what you're going to want to do is get to this section in Conch Street. Get halfway through Conch Street until you get to this like little section that you just saw where it's like you get to upgrade your gizmos and stuff. But if you're on New Game Plus, you're going to want to just go here just to like switch characters because you're never gonna use one of these because your weapons are like already completely upgraded. And since Squidward's the fastest character, you won't need to really switch characters since you can just use them to match weapons. But here you're gonna want SpongeBob for the trick. So yeah, you just get in, press A to like cancel that thing, and then press B to close out, and then switch to the character. Or depending on what console you're playing on, you're gonna have different buttons. But just like confirm, go back, and then switch to SpongeBob, and then yeah. I don't have all the weapons upgraded. Knots will run should, and I don't. So basically, just switch to SpongeBob, and like always, make sure to mash your weapons. That pretty much just goes. Doesn't really need like a strategy guide because it's literally just mashing your bumper. There's really nothing else to it. No setup for that or anything. So once you're SpongeBob, you're just gonna kind of want to like come over here. You're not gonna want to be like me. You're gonna want to have your weapons upgraded. So it's not that big of a deal if not all of them are upgraded. But in like the most optimal like outcome would be if all your weapons are upgraded. So yeah, unlike me, your weapons should probably be upgraded. Probably. You don't have to necessarily like upgrade all of them. So you're gonna want to get right here, and this button combination will be completely random. It's always random. So here is the very specific battle where you can do the skip. So it's actually in the corner that I'm currently facing towards right now with the barrels. It is not this one. You can't infinite jump there. So make sure not to trigger the battle. So you're going to want to stand here, make sure not to break the barrels. So, but I don't think it really matters if you break the barrels or not, but make sure you don't just to be safe. So you're going to want to stand here, and then you'll see this corner. See this corner that I'm facing towards right now. SpongeBob doesn't face towards corners well when you're like AFK, but so you're just gonna kind of want to like face towards this corner right now, and then keep running into the wall like SpongeBob is. Like you see, he's kind of stuck in between the barrel and the wall, so we can't go any further. So when you're in this state, you're gonna want to jump. And every character has a different hitbox. So this will work differently with different characters because each character has a different hitbox, so it's easier for some and harder for some. It's extremely hard with Squidward, which happens to be the most optimal character for New Game Plus. So this is the only time you're going to switch to the second most optimal character for New Game Plus if you don't want to die, being SpongeBob. And well, I suppose the other characters are just as optimal if you're not using Squidward. Like Sandy and Patrick have good like melee attacks, like ground slams and just melee attacks, So basically to do this, you're just going to want to stand in the corner right here. Make sure the barrel's there just in case. It's a good reference point. You don't necessarily need it, but it helps you set up your jump. See how SpongeBob's kind of stuck? he's kind of floating down extremely slowly. He's stuck. So in this state, you can just mash. That's all you have to do. So hold against the wall the entire time. Make sure not to let go. Hold against the wall, then mash. That's all you have to do. You don't have to mash too fast, but make sure not to press any button but your mashing button. Don't press any button but your jumping button. So once you get high enough, make sure you aim SpongeBob on the wall, because you can accidentally jump over the wall and kill the run. So when you see like the little character circle appear, or the SpongeBob circle in this case, immediately steer to the right and you'll be on top of this wall. So in this state, you're basically kind of just like walking on the gate. So you want to get over the wall. So what you're gonna want to do is walk over here, and then this is a good spot. So you're just gonna want to jump over, and that's the whole skip. That's everything. And then this saves about 40 to 45 seconds when done optimally. And it is possible with any other character, but it is extremely hard with anyone except SpongeBob. There is a chance that you will respawn, but that is very unlikely if you just do the barrel setup, because you'll pretty much get it 100% of the time if you do the barrel setup, but if not, it is likely that you will miss. But if you get on the barrels, then you'll pretty much never respawn. So then that's the end of the level. This does save time, so it is optimal. But yeah, so then to be as optimal as possible for the final boss, we're going to want to switch back to Squidward. So go back, then switch to Squidward, then mash confirm twice. Yeah, and that's it. So then for the final boss, like, you're just gonna want to do that strategy where you just like collect the batteries from the turrets and rammers and stuff, as well as like the chopper bots and stuff like that. You can just like beat the plankton second phase like really fast. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I was just here to talk about the infinite jump. So yeah, that's it. So if you're new, I would recommend practicing this. Don't try it like immediately in a run. I would do at least a couple rounds of practice first, just to get comfortable with it. Make sure you're using SpongeBob. But once you've gotten enough practice, then it won't be hard to implement it into a run. As long as you do the setup correctly, then you'll get it 100% of the time. And you don't have to do the setup. You can just immediately go to it without getting stuck. But there is the chance that you'll respawn is slightly higher, and when you respawn, you'll just then SpongeBob will have 1 less HP, and you'll just spawn back at like the very bottom. So it's not a big deal if that happens, but just try and not let it happen. Try and do the setup correctly. You don't have to, once again, and it does save time if you don't do the setup. If you just like go for it immediately and get it, then it does save time. But this is the only thing that we found with the infinite jump so far. This is really, that's it, and yeah, that's all we've done with infinite jumping so far as like finding skips. We found other stuff, but nothing that really saves time. So that's infinite jump for the Conch Street level. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found this helpful if you were watching.